Beets once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with vegetable of the day, the one and only beet. So, ladies and gentlemen, 23% Nation, no, we're not talking about Beets by Dre. No, we're not talking about beating on a drum machine. Instead, we're talking about the one and only root vegetable, the beet. So, maybe you love it. Why? Because sugar is derived from it. Maybe you hate them because you don't like the color red. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on why, because we're talking about beets. And so welcome to the wonderful world of the root vegetable. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Beets are a type of root vegetable. So basically what that means is the root of these plants are edible. That's right. Beets belong to the same family as spinach and Swiss chard. In terms of taste, beets have a sweet flavor and tender texture. So, if you ever wondered what in the world a beet tastes like, well, chances are it's going to be a little soft and a little sweet. So there we have it, guys. A little bit of background information about the one and only beet. All right, believe it or not, more background information. Their peak season runs from June to October, which is the best season to scout farmers markets and health food stores for fresh, tender, organic beets. Beets used in various ways. For example, their bright juices are used as food dyes, while their sugars quickly became noticed for a source of concentrated sweetness. Around the 19th century, beets began being used as a means for extracting and refining sugar. So, as you can see in the picture, ladies and gentlemen, there we have beet juice, and it already appears to have stained the inside of the bowl. So, if it can stain a bowl, be careful. So there we have it, guys. A little more background information about the one and only beet. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. When buying beets, look for small or medium-sized beet roots that have a uniform smooth skin and deep color. Either purple, red, pink striped, or golden are most often available. Now, take a look at the picture, guys. As you can see, I tried to show you an example of all the different colors of beets. As you can see, some are white, some are a deep red, some are pink striped, and some are yellow. Interesting. I never knew beets came in so many different colors. How nice. Lastly, steer clear of fresh beets that have spots or strong bruises, where the beet juice is quote-unquote bleeding from the root. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your beets are bleeding, don't buy them, don't eat them. All right? So there we have it, guys. A few fun facts about the one and only beet. All right, more fun facts. In addition to the beet root, beet greens are actually completely edible and rich in nutrients. That's right. So the next time you go to the grocery store or the farmer's market, or maybe even a vegan restaurant, right? Tell them, please, give me my beet greens. Don't throw them away. There are plenty of options for cooking beets. In fact, you can eat them raw, cooked, or roasted. Who knew? When eaten raw, beets are firm, crunchy, and mildly sweet tasting. Eating them raw ensures that they retain their nutrients and helps preserve their natural flavor. When you cook beets, they become softer and slightly sweeter. Interesting. Roasting them also gives their natural sugars a chance to caramelize and gives them a richer, sweeter flavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you love sweet vegetables, then please consider eating more beets. Now, if you want to eat them raw, great. Why? Because the vegetable is going to contain all of its natural nutrients, right? But then once you begin to cook them, they become even more sweet. So ultimately, it depends on your taste buds, right? Do you want it kind of sweet or do you want it really sweet? Ultimately, it's up to you. So there we have it, guys. A few more fun facts about the one and only beet. All right, it's time for the not so fun facts. Beets are prone to oxidizing and losing some of their nutrient value when they're overheated and overcooked. Wow, take a look at the picture, guys. We have a few beets searing in a frying pan. Be sure to cook beets slightly to prevent oxidation and maximize the nutritional value of your beets. So really what they're telling us is that when you cook beets, because the temperature is raised, right, that unfortunately will deactivate a lot of the naturally occurring nutrients. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's always best to eat beets raw. That's right, guys. Now, I'm not saying grab a beet and start biting into it as if it were an apple. Oh, no. Put it in your NutriBullet. Put it in your Ninja. That's right, guys. If you don't like to eat them, you can always drink them. But if you do decide to cook them, then please make sure you do not overheat them and you do not overcook them. So there we have it, guys. The not so fun facts about beets. All right. Oh, more not so fun facts. Always be careful cooking beets as their juices tend to stain. Oh, take a look at the picture. As you can see, one gentleman, while cooking beets, stained his shirt. So please be careful, all right? Also, one of the easiest ways to prepare them to avoid stains is to wrap a whole beet in tin foil with a little bit of coconut oil and bake them at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly how to cook beets, right, so that they don't stain and so that they retain the majority of their nutrients. How nice is that? All right, more not so fun facts. Although there are numerous potential beet benefits, there are some people who may need to moderate their intake. Wow. While rare, some people may be allergic to beets. If you experience any food allergy symptoms like hives, itching, or swelling, discontinue use and immediately talk to your doctor. Now, take a look at the picture, right? Maybe you break out in hives just by looking at a beet. So you definitely don't want to touch it. You definitely don't want to ingest it. Now, here's what I suggest, and this is something that I recently learned about my body, is that unfortunately, I had become allergic to one of my favorite fruits, which happens to be plantains. So I did a little experiment. Normally, I would eat two plantains in one sitting, and then that's when I would get the itching, right? But then when I noticed that when I reduced it to only one plantain, guess what happened? The itching went away. So maybe you should try to do your own experiment. Rather than completely eliminating it from your diet, I would suggest that you first reduce your consumption. See if the symptoms still come around, and if they don't, well, you found your solution. If they still happen to pop up, well, then we now know that you may either want to reduce it even further or completely eliminate it from your diet. So there we have it, guys. More not so fun facts about the one and only beet. All right. Wow. More not so fun facts. Remember, beets are one of the vegetables highest in sugar, although consuming about a cup of beets daily generally does not have a negative effect on blood sugar levels or weight. Because of their high sugar content, beets are commonly used in the production of refined sugar called beet sugar or evaporated beet juice. These types of sugars undergo a high amount of chemical processing and destroy the health benefits of beets. So it's important not to confuse these beet products with eating real, actual whole beets. Beet sugar made of beets extract sugars molecules is just as harmful as other types of refined sugars like white cane sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Wow. So basically what this is telling us is this. It's always best to eat the beet in its natural state. The moment a beet is processed, number one, you destroy the other health benefits of the beet. And number two, you only isolate the sugar from the beet. So once that sugar goes into your body, it becomes a toxic as opposed to a nutrient. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the not so fun facts about the one and only beets. All right. More not so fun facts. A lot of people may want to know, are canned beets good for you? Well, here we go. Canned beets can be a good option if fresh beets aren't available, but it's important to keep in mind that they do contain slightly lower amounts of certain micronutrients, including folate and potassium. So these beets benefits may not be as powerful. They may also be higher in sodium, so remember to rinse them off before consuming to remove extra salt. So, ladies and gentlemen, should you consume canned beets? Well, in my opinion, I would say no. But, like the text said, if fresh beets aren't available, then yeah, go ahead, grab a can. Okay? But always understand something, that whenever you consume anything canned, the natural nutrient content is lower. However, the salt content is higher. So there we have it. More not so fun facts about the one and only beet. All right, it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. Basically, it helps us to read and understand food labels. It's also a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, specifically, when we talk about the 520 rule, we're talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into three main parts. We have purple, yellow, and blue. The purple part is the percent daily value column. As you can see, percent daily value is represented as a percentage. It can be as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, there are some very rare cases where the percent daily value for a nutrient can be in excess of 100%, but that is quite rare. Now, let's talk about the yellow portion. The yellow portion highlights a few nutrients that unfortunately do a really good job at promoting sickness, illness, and disease within the human body. So when we talk about saturated fat, trans fats, cholesterol, and sodium, those nutrients, you want those nutrients to be as close to 0% as possible. Now, when we talk about the blue portion, we're talking about dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals. Now, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease, these nutrients provide wellness and health for the human body. So if anything, you want to make sure that the percent DV for those nutrients are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's be a little more specific when we talk about the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, if a food or beverage item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item contains 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. Okay, now it's time to dive into the nutrition facts. So for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of beets is equal to 1 cup of raw beets, not cooked beets. There's a difference. All right, so in the single serving, we're going to get 58.5 calories. Nice. 13 grams of carbs. Look at this, 2.2 grams of protein. Amazing. 0.2 grams of fat. 3.8 grams of dietary fiber. How cool is that? Then we have folate coming in at 37% DV. Excellent source. Manganese, 22% DV. Excellent source. Potassium coming in at 13% DV. Good source. Vitamin C, 11% DV. Good source. Then we have magnesium coming in at 8% DV, not a good source. We have iron coming in at 6% DV, not a good source. Copper coming in at 5% DV, not a good source. Phosphorus coming in at 5% DV, not a good source. And lastly is vitamin B6 coming in at 5% DV, not a good source. Now, here's something to remember, that these percent daily values are based on a single serving. That's right. So if you want more phosphorus, more iron, right, more potassium, it's easy. Eat more than 1 cup. Ideally, 2 cups. That way you can double the percent DV. So there we have it, guys. The nutrition facts about the one and only BEET. All right. Now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, let's quickly talk about the principle of cause and effect. Why? Because it directly pertains to the health benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, the principle of cause and effect basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. That being said, here's what we need to understand, is that if you're healthy, well, you caused it. Versus you having a disease, a sickness, or an illness, well, chances are you caused that too. So the purpose is not necessarily to focus on the effect. It's more important to focus on the causes, right? So when we talk about the health benefits of Beets, not only are we going to talk about the benefits, which ultimately is the effect, but also I want to focus on what's causing these effects, right? And so in doing so, we're going to talk about the name of the phytonutrient or the name of the medicine. So benefit number 1, beets high in antioxidants such as betalains, lutein, and zeaxanthin. Benefit number 2, relieves inflammation. Great. So now the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to the antioxidants. Benefit number 3, promotes heart health. How nice is that? So the question is, which medicine in beets is responsible? Well, it contains dietary nitrates. Benefit number 4, aids in detoxification. Perfect. So the question is, which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to the antioxidants. Benefit number 5, boosts brain function. Great. So what's the cause? Dietary nitrates. Benefit number 6, supports digestive health. What's the cause? Dietary fiber. Benefit number 7, enhances athletic performance. The cause? Dietary nitrates. Benefit number 8, increases weight loss. Perfect. So the question is, what's the medicine that's responsible? Well, say hello to fiber. So there we have it, guys. 8 health benefits from the one and only BEET. Now it's time to talk about food. As usual, I went to my go-to website for everything vegan, so say hello to forksoverknives.com. By the way, the movie Forks Over Knives is amazing, and I highly recommend that you watch it. Now, as usual, I went to the website, did just a little bit of research, and came across 2 deliciously looking recipes from the website, right? So the first one is roasted beets and baby leeks platter. Sounds nice. Look at the picture. Amazing. Now, the second recipe is wheat berry and roasted vegetable salad with kale. Take a look at that picture. Looks delicious. Yes. Now, if you are at all intrigued and interested in making either one of these dishes, all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each recipe. That's right. Now, when you click on the link, you're going to find some great information, such as an ingredient list, cooking time, and cooking instructions. Right? So there you have it, guys. Not 1, but 2 vegan beet recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right. 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts and the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when in the world should I eat more beets? Well, guys, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the perfect day to eat more beets is Nature Day. Now, here's the thing about Nature Day. Nature Day is actually the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, what in the world is the challenge? Well, in a nutshell, it's a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge. Number 1, it's monthly, meaning January through December, and it's 7 days, but it's the first 7 days of every month. That's right, the 1st through the 7th. Now, being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. That's right. So whether it's February 1st, October 1st, or even December 1st, it's always Nature Day. Okay, So maybe you're intrigued. Maybe you want to learn a little more about Nature Day. Well, here we go. Guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, yes, there are lots of things you can do to get closer to nature, but I propose we get closer to nature by simply putting it in our bodies. That's right, guys. It's time to eat more plants, right? Now, I believe that some people have a very difficult time eating more plants. So, and if that's the case, then let's take baby steps. So, how about we only eat plants before 12 p.m.? That way, after 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want to eat. If before 12 p.m. doesn't work for you, then maybe you can eat only plants and drink only water after 12 p.m. That way, before 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want to eat. Now, for those of us who want to up the ante just a little more, you can always try to become a 3% vegan, which is basically any man, woman, or child who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only one day out of an entire month. Next up is a 10% vegan. That's any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next is a 17% vegan, which is any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now this is any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 7 days out of an entire month. Now, that would be the first 7 days, and technically that's what Coach D considers himself to be. So now the question is, which plant foods do you eat, Coach D? Well, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables and herbs, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and whole grains. And of course, the only beverage that I consume is good old water. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ins and outs about Nature Day. Now, some of us may also want to know, well, Coach D, who is Nature Day for? I mean, what type of person should really participate in Nature Day? Well, guys, if you meet any of these qualifications, or if this describes you in any way, shape, or form, then Nature Day is definitely for you. So, maybe you are suffering from the big 4, meaning heart disease, obesity, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and maybe you're tired of the surgeries, maybe you're tired of the medications, maybe you're tired of the doctor's visits, right? And so maybe you're looking for a holistic, natural way to treat your ailments. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have skin issues such as eczema, psoriasis, pimples and acne and blackheads, and you're looking for a natural, holistic approach. Well, it's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have digestive issues such as constipation or IBS. It's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you have mental issues such as depression, maybe bipolar, maybe ADHD, or maybe you're angry all the time and you're looking for a way to help heal yourself naturally, holistically. It's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you want to lose some weight. So maybe you can try our vegan lean program. Maybe you want to build some muscle. Maybe you can try our vegan bulk program. Or maybe you're just looking to transition from the standard American diet to a whole food plant-based diet. It's easy. Participate in Nature Day. Or maybe you just want to eat more plants. Great. It's definitely time to participate in Nature Day. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly who Nature Day is for. All right. Now it's time for Coach D's tips. Why? Because I want your Nature Day to be successful. So, tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. Number 3 is the canned good aisle. Why? Well, produce section, that's where you're going to find all of your fresh plant foods. Freezer aisle, that's where you're going to find all of your frozen plant foods. And the canned good aisle is where you're going to find all of your canned plant foods. Now, some people want to know, Coach D, what's best? Fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, if I got to be honest, fresh is always the best. Frozen is a very close second. Why? Because the nutrient contents are very, very close to one another. And lastly, and this is like way in the back, is going to be canned. Well, unfortunately, canned plant foods have a lot of toxins and the nutrient content is greatly reduced because of the processing procedures. So If anything, fresh is first, frozen is a close second, and third is like 2, maybe 3 laps behind. Tip number 2, go visit the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So once you're done with the canned good aisle, the freezer aisle, and the produce section, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Talk to the person behind the counter. Ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. Ask for a sample. Don't worry, it's free. And if you like it, go ahead and purchase it by the pound. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, I highly suggest this for people who have to have non-GMO organic plant foods. Here's the good thing. Farmers markets only cater to the non-GMO organic plant food market. That's right. Plus, the prices may be a little cheaper than the local grocery store. Why? Because the food is grown and transported locally. That's right. Tip number 4, go visit your local vegan restaurant. Now, vegan restaurants are amazing for a few reasons. Number 1, they hire vegan chefs. Number 2, the vegan chefs know exactly how to prepare plant foods so that they retain the majority of their nutrients. Also, they know which plant foods to combine to yield the most delicious, nutritious dishes. Tip number 5, get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. These companies are great for those of us who don't want to cook plant foods, for those of us who don't know how to cook plant foods, or for those of us who don't have time to cook plant foods, right? Here's how it works. You order, they cook, they deliver, you eat. It's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day. And this comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know, true or false, in addition to the beet root, beet greens are completely inedible and void of nutrients. So, is that a true statement or is that a false statement? Whatever the case may be, please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please subscribe, share, comment, and like the video, especially if you love Beets. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #EATMOREPLANTS. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.